Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. My name is Sandra, and on this channel we talk about healing the fearful avoidant attachment style, healing through inner work and self-discovery. And for today's topic, I want to talk about something that I struggled with for the longest time, especially with a fearful avoidant attachment style. I think this is really at the root of anybody who has a fearful avoidant attachment style, but I also want you to keep watching this video if you feel unworthy at all, because we all feel that at some point in our life we feel unworthy and we feel like we have to prove ourselves through the things that we do, through the ways that we show up, through the people-pleasing habits that we take up or we learn. So I want you to keep watching this video. I'm going to talk about how this manifests, what it looks like, and how to actually overcome this. So the way feeling unworthy shows up will be you feeling super self-conscious when you are in public around people. You will feel like you have to show up as someone else, you have to put on a mask or play some sort of role, or you're just very self-conscious of the way that you show up, the way that you speak, the things that you say. You're constantly questioning and analyzing, am I saying the right thing? Do they like me? Am I moving the right way? Did I just offend somebody? Like, you're constantly just over analyzing every single thing that you do, and you're on super high alert and looking at people's facial what is it called, facial cues, like the way that they express, like the micro expressions that they have on their face. You're constantly looking at that for feedback to see whether you should shift the way that you're showing up or not. You're not in your body, you're in your head. You're literally just constantly thinking about, am I saying the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Do they think this, and this of me? And then if you know the person, you will perceive yourself through what they would think of you, because you know that person's beliefs and thoughts. So you'll start to view yourself through their lens instead of actually just being yourself and like showing up as who you are, regardless of who is in front of you. Of course, it's important to shift the approach that you take when you're interacting with people, but this is different. This is changing the core of who you are to please other people. So if you have any people-pleasing tendencies, changing the way that you show up. And if you find yourself dismissing your own needs often, or you dismiss the strengths and the gifts that you offer to this world, and you just dismiss yourself and think, oh, I have nothing to offer, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not enough, like, who do I think I am to be even doing this? If you any of those thoughts come up, you most likely feel unworthy to even exist. And this really correlates also with the fearful avoidant attachment. It could very well correlate to having a fearful avoidant attachment style, but it's not the only reason. So if you've listened to all of this and you've resonated with all the ways that this shows up, you're going to want to continue watching this video, because now I'm going to talk about ways to actually overcome this. Because for the longest time, I felt so unworthy, and I felt that I had to show up in a way where I had to prove myself to people. I had to base my decisions off of what other people thought and whether they would like me based off that decision or not. I had to show up in a certain way and base who I was on whether other people would like me or not when I made certain decisions. And even when I would make those things, people literally don't even care. Like, when you base your decision off of someone else's opinion because you don't feel worthy enough or secure enough in your own decisions, and because you're trying to people please, people literally don't care. Like, if something goes wrong in your life, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, wow, that sucks, whatever. And then you're gonna be disappointed in the fact that you're not following your intuition, you're not making decisions from a place of alignment. You're going to be disappointed in yourself for following what someone else expects of you, and then them not even caring. So now I'm going to talk about a few ways to actually overcome this feeling, because this feeling literally shapes how you view the world around you, whether you can trust people or not, whether you can rely on yourself or not, whether you feel capable of achieving anything or being anything or showing up in the way that you want to. When you feel unworthy and not enough, you will most likely dismiss opportunities that come to you because you just don't feel capable. You don't feel worthy of taking up space. You don't feel worthy of taking a specific job, or even pursuing a certain career, or pursuing any kind of opportunities that make you feel like you are worthy or that you are enough. You're going to stay away from all of those things, and that can affect your finances, that can affect your relationships, the type of partner you attract. If you don't feel worthy, what type of partner do you think you will attract? Will it be someone who treats you right and respects you and communicates well, or would it be someone who dismisses you, doesn't communicate, who's not emotionally available, and doesn't respect you? How you view yourself and how you feel about yourself matters. And so the first thing that I will say, I'm going to list things that have helped me feel worthy in who I am and feel confident in the way that I show up and in the decisions that I make. So the first thing will be listening to hypnosis meditations while you sleep. This literally rewires your subconscious mind while you sleep. You don't even have to do anything for it. This helped me so much. Finding hypnosis tapes, not tapes, but finding hypnosis meditations on YouTube and listening to them while I slept really helped rewire my beliefs, because your beliefs and your thoughts and what you think of yourself are the things that are dictating the way that you show up and who you think you are. So you have to rewire your thoughts to start viewing yourself differently. You have to show up differently in a new identity as someone who is worthy and who feels worthy. So this is one of the easier ways to rewire those thought patterns, so you can start showing up as that person and you don't have as many thoughts and beliefs kind of coming up as resistance. The second thing that helps me is going in my notes app, creating a whole note for catching myself when I find limiting beliefs. So catching limiting beliefs that sorry, I'm recording in my car and I'm looking outside. So catching myself when I find limiting beliefs. I find that when I just think about them in my head, or I catch them and I don't write them down, they just keep repeating and I'm not actually aware of them. But writing them out or writing them down in my phone really helps me catch them more often. And I want you to write down your limiting beliefs that keep coming up when, let's say, you look at yourself in the mirror and you literally start picking at your appearance and like picking at yourself and how you're not enough, or you don't look good enough, or this is not enough, or you need to lose a weight, blah, 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 blah. All these things that are coming up, you need to literally write that down, because that is a limiting belief of the way that you view yourself. You're telling yourself, I'm not enough because I look like this, or I have this issue, or blah, 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 blah. Write that down, and I want you to write the opposite belief of whatever you write down. So let's say you think, I'm not beautiful enough because of this thing on my face. I want you to find a positive thing about it. Actually, I'm gonna use a personal example. So for the longest time, I wouldn't say that I thought I wasn't enough because of this, but something that I would pick at myself is like baby hairs. I made a TikTok about this and I posted it, and it was like baby hairs, how I viewed them as like I viewed them as, what is the word? Oh my gosh, I forgot the word. Oh my god, why can't I think of this? I used to view this baby hair as something negative, something to be self-conscious about. I was like, what is all this baby hair? Like, it's always just coming out, like it's just in my face, and it kind of just doesn't frame my face very well. So I used to view myself in a negative way because of this. And then I reframed that and I said, no, like these baby hairs, like my hair is constantly growing. My hair is literally long and voluminous and it's always growing. Look at how much baby hair I have. Like I always have hair growth going on. So instead of going with the limiting belief of viewing myself as like, oh, I have all this baby hair, oh my god, it looks so ugly and it's like not like perfect and or whatever, like I don't have the perfect hairline. Instead of viewing it that way, I started to view it in a positive way. So I want you to start doing that with any kind of limiting belief that comes up that makes you feel unworthy or not enough. And then the third thing I want you to do is start visualizing. Close your eyes and start visualizing that version of you that feels worthy. what does that feel like? How does she show up? Does she stand up straight, and does she smile, and does she take up space in a room when she walks in? Does she make eye contact with people? What kind of things does she even involve herself in if she feels worthy? What kind of activities does she take up? Because someone who doesn't feel worthy will not participate in certain activities, will not make eye contact, they will go in a room and go in a corner and hide. So think of that version of you who feels so worthy to take up space, to show up and be seen by people. What does that look like, and what does that feel like? And visualize that in your mind. And the reason I want you to do this and why this is so powerful is because when you feel it, even though in your mind that you're just feeling it, it's not actually happening, your mind cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is not. So the more you visualize this and you embody it in your head, the easier it becomes to embody this in real life when your eyes are open. So this is literally a trick to just start embodying this in your mind, so it just becomes easier. You're not faced with as much resistance to start showing up in this way. I forgot what number we're on. I think 4th point, maybe. The 4th thing I want you to try is EFT, emotional freedom tapping. I don't know if you've heard of this before, if you've seen videos on YouTube of people tapping on meridian points on their face or on their body. That is what EFT is, and it is called emotional freedom technique because it helps you release stuck emotions from the body, because it goes along the meridian points in the body, and it helps you release any stuck emotions. So if you have any emotions related to feeling unworthy from your childhood, this can help, or any even limiting beliefs that you have, this technique helps you release that. And there is someone on YouTube that I love called Brad. I think his channel is called Tap with Brad, but his name is Brad Yates if you want to look him up. I don't know which name it is, I can't remember, but his channel is amazing. He actually has a playlist on there for self-worth, so I want you to go to that and start tapping. I don't know that it works for everybody, but it really worked wonders for me and has helped me move a lot of emotions out of my body. And when you move a lot of these emotions out of your body, you're going to face way less resistance to actually showing up in this way. So all of these techniques are meant to help you move the resistance that is there, that is telling you you are not worthy or you cannot show up in this way. And number 5, the thing that I want you to try is try stepping out of your head more often and into your body. Because when you are in your head, that is when you overanalyze and you overthink about things. You're not really present in the moment because you're making up stories in your head about the thoughts that come up. Like, let's say you have a thought come up of saying, oh, like, does this person agree with what I just said? Did I just offend them? Did I blah blah blah? And like all these thoughts come up that just like are so self-conscious that you're focusing so much on the other person instead of actually, well, you're actually not focusing on the other person, you're focusing on how the other person perceives you because you're so scared of rejection. But when you stay present in the moment and you're in your body, you're able to respond so much better. You're able to actually see, like, do I even like this person? What am I perceiving in my environment? Am I able to actually catch certain triggers when they come up? When you are in your body, you are way less likely to feel self-conscious because you're present in the moment and you're able to actually have a connection with the person. You're not going to be able to have a connection with someone else if you're in your head, if you're self-conscious and you're not actually able to be in the present moment to connect with that person. So to overcome feeling self-conscious and being in your head too much and feeling unworthy, stop focusing so much on your head and go literally visualize in your head the energy moving from up here to in your body. Start feeling energy in your body. Bring your energy down to your stomach where your gut is, or bring it down to your legs and feel grounded. Bring it anywhere in your body that feels safe and out of your head. That is just how you can start. You can start doing it maybe when you're alone to kind of make it a little bit easier, but that is just how I started doing it, and it helps a lot just to be grounded in the moment, in my body, and with the person that I am speaking to. So those are all the points that I have today. I really want you to just take this video very seriously, because I, for the longest time, did not feel worthy, and it really skewed my perception of the way that I showed up with people. Sometimes I would self-sabotage and show up in a way that was literally based on something I made up in my head. I would think that other people didn't like me, or I was showing up in a certain way because I was so self-conscious that I would sabotage relationships and think, oh, they thought this of me, even though it was a story I made up in my head. It literally never happened. They didn't even have that perception. I can't read people's minds. Like, it was literally just affecting my relationships, the goals that I went after, the opportunities that I accepted. It really just affected the way I viewed myself and the amount of motivation I had to even go after my goals, because I just didn't feel worthy, and I didn't feel like it even mattered to do anything because I didn't feel worthy or enough to do any of those things, or to have the good relationships, or to feel good in my body. So none of the healing work that I was doing, or the books that I was reading, the self-help books, were even helping me, because I was coming at it from a point of trying to fix myself because something was wrong with me, that I wasn't worthy, and I had to make myself feel worthy by reading these books, by listening to certain people's content. But you just know that you are already worthy right now without having to do anything. It does not matter what you offer the job market, that is a whole different story. But who you are as a person, you existing, you are worthy for just being here and existing. You are whole. You do not have to fix yourself because you are not broken. And I just really felt called to make this video because this has literally been the one thing that has stopped me from, sorry, it's a little hot in my car right now, so I'm sweating, but this has literally just been the one thing that has stopped me from doing the things I wanted to do, and accepting opportunities, and seeing myself as someone who is in a healthy relationship, someone who is actually a good person. When I felt unworthy, I didn't feel like I was a good person. I felt like I was always making mistakes. I can never do anything right. That affected the way that I viewed life, the things that I got to have, and it affected the amount of money that I got to make, and the kind of relationship, the kind of love that I accepted and allowed in. So just know that this affects so many different areas of your life, and you deserve to feel worthy now, because you are. We're all human, we make mistakes. You do not have to show up here and be perfect, or put on a mask, or just be in some kind of role that you feel doesn't align with you. You do not have to show up any differently than how you are showing up now. You're allowed to make mistakes. You do not have to be perfect. You get to be human and make mistakes and apologize if something happens, and just move on with your life. And you're worthy of existing and being here just as much as anybody else. That is everything that I have for the video for you today. If you guys have any questions or thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. If I mentioned any links or anything throughout my video, they will be in the description below. And thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.